Hello everyone, welcome to the course Data Structures in Python. This is Thulasi Chitra, Associate Professor, Department of CSIT, MLR Institute of Technology. In today's overview of the session, we will be discussing about operations on list. In this, we will be looking into different operations, that is appending items into the list. And the second one is extending items in the list. And the third one is inserting items in the list. And the fourth one is removing an item from the list. So the four different operations where we are going to see in the today's session. The first one is appending items in the list. For that, first we are going to initialize all the items in the list. We have taken totally 5 elements in the list. Now, when you are going to append the elements into the list, here we are going to know about what is the different views of storing or appending the items in the list. One, we are going to find it as abstract view, and another one where we are going to find it as physical view. Abstract view means when we are going to have a list, it will be stored in an array format like this, where it will be starting with an index 0 up to 4. 0 to n minus 1. Similarly, like an array, we are going to store, right? In the abstract view, how many elements that has been given, based on that, how much memory that will be allocated, that will be shown in the abstract view, right? 5 elements was given, 5 memory locations has been allocated. But in the physical view, we are not supposed to get the exact 5 spaces in the memory. We are going to have some extended memory also. That's why in the physical view, you can able to see what is the length of your list. At the same time, how much capacity that has been allocated for your elements, and that has been linked with array pointer, right? And why it is going to take the capacity as 8. That one you have to understand. Suppose I am going to have 3 elements in my list. If I am having only 3 elements, then in the physical view, it is going to allocate only 4 spaces, right? It is going to allocate only 4 spaces. If my elements are 5, then it is going to allocate the capacity as 8. That means it can able to store 8 elements. From this, we could understand, if I have the starting size of memory which it is going to allocate is 4 bytes, and the next it is going to be increased. If it is more than 5, it will be of 8. Then if I am having more than 8 elements, it will be having the capacity of 16. That means it is doubling the size of it, right? That's why it is going to allocate. It is here we have 5 elements. Because of that, it is going to allocate the capacity as 8. Now, for the given previous list, if I want to append 50, where it will be appended, right? If you could able to see, these are the 5 elements which we have. Now I am going to append 50 into this list, so that it will be inserted or appended at the index 5. Let us see how it has been appended. Yes, here the value of 50 has been appended, right? The next one, where we are going to see what happens when the array becomes full and there is no free elements in which a new list item has been given. If I want to add a new list item, suppose you see what happens when the array becomes full. If this is full, if array whatever we have taken is full and there is no free element in which to add a new list item. If I want to add a new item into my list, if that memory is already filled with the array is full, in that particular case, what we are going to do, right? If suppose I am going to append an element 18, where it will be appended? It will be appended in the place of this one, right? It is going to append in the place of index 6. It has been appended. Now, if I want to append 64, still we have the space. Why? Because the capacity is 8. Because of that, it is going to insert at the index 7. That is also going to be done. Now, if I want to append another element 6, in this case, this array is full, right? If the array is full after appending all the 3 values, now what we need to do if I want to append an element 6 into this particular array list, right? Now for that we need to have some cases to study. What are the cases that has to be followed? When the third statement is executed, that means if you try to insert or append an element 6 into the array, in that case, if the array is full, the array has to be expanded to make room for the value 6, right? Now I want to extend, the capacity is now 8, that has to be extended to 16. Based on that, I can able to append now new element into my array list. Let us see what are the points that are going to be covered. First, what it is going to do. To allow the expansion of the list, the following steps has to be performed. Directly we can't expand it, right? What are the steps that are required to expand the list? First thing, a new array is created with additional capacity. First thing what we are going to do is, we are going to create a new array with additional capacity, and the second one, the items from the original array are copied into the new array, right? We will see all these in stepwise in a diagrammatic way so that it will be easily understandable. Next, third one, the new larger array is set to the data structure for the list. Again, now a new larger array will be set to the data structure for the list. And the fourth one, the original smaller array is destroyed. Whatever the previous array that was present, that is going to be destroyed. And at the last, after the array has been expanded, the value can be appended to the end of the list. These are all the steps that are required when you want to expand your array, right? Let us see the steps what we have been discussed, this that has been placed with a diagrammatic representation. Let us see a new array. First step is what? We need to have a new array, double the size of original length that is created. That means previously the capacity is 8, now double the size means totally we are going to have 16, that is 0 to 15 length array is going to be created. The next one, the values from the original array are copied into the new larger array, right? Now whatever the old original array that we have, totally how many elements we have? Totally we have 8 elements, right? 8 elements are there. All the elements are going to be copied into the new array. New larger array we need to copy. And then the new array replaces the original in the list. Whatever the new array we have, all the elements are going to be copied into that. After that, now value of 6 is appended to the end of the list. After adding all the elements, right? Now we have added all the elements into the new array. Now what is the new element we have? We have the element 6 that is going to be inserted at the end of the list. Not anywhere in the middle, it will be inserted at the end of the list. That is at the index 8 it is going to be inserted. This is how when you want to insert append an element into the list based on the expansion of the array, right? The next one where we are going to have is extending the list. What is meant by extension? We have some small memory locations, right? If I can able to store only 2 elements, two lists we are going to take, and from there I want to extend one list with the another list. In that particular case, we are going for the extending of the list. Extending is nothing but appending. Let us see. A list can be appended to a second list using the extend method as shown below. We are going to use the keyword called extend method, or we can name it as a function. By using that function or method, we are going to extend one list to the another list, right? Let us see. If I am going to consider the first list as having elements of 34 and 12, and the second list where we are going to have the elements of 4, 6, 31 and 9. 4 elements are there. Now this is the memory allocation representation of list A, and this is for list B. Okay. In first list where we are going to have 2 elements, the capacity where it will be having as 4. The length is 2, but the capacity you can able to store is 4. But here in this, The second list where we are going to have the elements as 4, because of that the capacity it will be given it as 8, right? Now how to perform the extension of list A with list B? For that, py list A dot extend is a method where we are going to extend list B. This is the method where we are going to apply to extend for list A. So that when you are going to do this, the first two elements are 34 and 12. The end of list A, it will be extended with the remaining elements, that is 4, 6, 31 and 9 will be added to the list A. So that the remaining, still we are left with 2 more spaces, we can able to store or append 2 more elements into the list, right? Like this way we can able to append one list into the another list. The next one is inserting an element into the list. This concept we have been already studied in the arrays also. So in similar way we are going to use it, but here we are going to use a method called insert method. Okay, an item can be inserted anywhere in the list by using insert method. By using insert method, we can able to insert an element into the list. Consider this is the syntax where you can use for inserting an element into the list. What is the syntax? The list name followed by dot, and this is the method name or function name, where in which position you want to insert and what element to be inserted. That has to be given in the insert. So that if you can give this based on that, in that particular index it is going to be insert. Now let us consider py dot is nothing but the list. Insert is the method, and 3, 79. 3 is the index where you want to insert and 79 is the element where you want to insert into that particular position. When you want to insert an element in that particular position, first we need to allocate some space over there. Already some element has been stored in that particular index. First we need to shift all the elements to the right hand side. Right? Now if you can see here, the 34 element has been shifted to this, and this one will be shifted first, here first we need to shift all the elements to the right. First we will be moving from the last element. First 6 will be moved to the 9th position and 64 will be moved to this location. Then 18 will be moved, then 50 will be moved, then 17 will be moved, and 34 will be moved. Like this way it will be shifting all the elements. Now you can able to see you got a memory space over here in the index 3. Now we can able to insert the element 79 into this particular index, right? First we need to shift all the elements, then allocate the space over there in which index you want to insert, and then we are going to insert that particular element, and then we can, if you want to retrieve it, and you can able to retrieve it and you can display it also after insertion. And the next one where we are going to see is an element can be removed from the position within the list using pop method. Like insertion, if you want to delete an element from the list, that can also be possible. How we can able to delete it? By using the pop method we can able to delete. Let us see in which way we can able to delete an item from the list. Here we have two methods, that is a list followed by pop, and we are going to pass a value as 0. If you are going to specify 0 means it is going to remove the first item from the list, right? If I am going to give 0 means it is going to remove the first item from the list. The next one, if I am not specifying any parameters in the pop operation, then automatically it will be removing the last item from the list, right? These are the two things where we can able to see with an example. Let us see the first one. If I am specifying pop of 0 means it is going to remove the first element. The first element in the list is 4. That will be removed from the list. When I am going to remove this element from the list, the remaining elements has to be shifted to its removed position. That means If I am going to remove these particular elements, means all the elements are to be shifted to the left position. That means 12 will be moved here. The remaining elements, one shift left will be done for all the elements, like this way. All the elements will be shifted to the left, right? This is how, where we are going to delete an element or removing an element from the list. And today, in today's session, we have been discussed about operations on list, and we have seen about appending the items, how we are going to append the items in the list, and how we can do the extension of two lists. That is, if you have given two lists, how we can add one list to the another list. And then we have seen how we can perform the insertion of items into the list. If I want to insert, then I need to give for a particular index to be selected and which element to be inserted, so that I can able to shift the elements to the right and allocate the memory for it, and so that we can able to insert. And the last, removing an item from the list, this can be done by specifying an index, that is 0 if you are going to pass, it will be removing the first element from the list. If you are not specifying anything in the pop, then it is going to remove the last item from the list. When you are removing an item from the list, we need to be cautious that we need to shift all the elements. After removing the element from the list, we need to shift the remaining elements to the left of the space which have been removed from the list. Okay, I hope you understand this session. Thank you.